everyone, Joe here from the Collection Compass. Today I wanted to give you a little bit of a brief look, a little one of Joe's lessons in terms of collections, let's call it like that. Today I want to answer the question, can you accurately figure out how much a Funko Pop's going to be worth when you purchase it? Okay, well, I'm just going to be frank with you. No, not really. You really cannot predict what the heck is going to be the next big ticket item. I think everyone just assumes that, oh, Funko Pops are like every single one of them are going to be valuable. Well, to you it could be. I could probably say like half of my collection is valuable. Not because they're worth anything, because they're valuable to me. Okay, all corniness aside, I think in recent years, I've said this before many times, Funko Pops have only become more and more popular. It's becoming more triggered, the figures, it's becoming way more detailed. The base price of them are going up. There's more and more specialty ones, exclusive ones, and just the market, the resale market of them, I think has just basically increased in the past few years alone. Not just because of the pandemic, but just in general with just how, like, I don't even know how to explain it that way. It just, you got to take my word for it. Like, it's just increasing. It's becoming more popular. It's actually becoming harder for me as a collector to go back and purchase ones that I missed before, because in my brief history, well, 6 years isn't brief, but still close to it, I actually took a little bit of, like, not like a break, but like I didn't really go after ones, or like I skipped a few over because I thought like they were going to be common, and then I made a big mistake, and now they're worth hundreds of dollars, and I'm just like, damn, I just can't catch a break. My wallet can catch a break. Now, to be fair, of course, as I said before, this entire collection is, having a collection is optional. You don't really need to get into collecting. You don't really need to buy these figures. But if you want to, you should be very well aware. And my number one advice always, and this is coming from my dad, if you want something, get it as soon as you can. Because again, you just do not know the reseller value market. But I can give you some tips on like what you can accurately predict what it could be. Again, it's not a universal defined one. At the end of the day, it's kind of like you just got to see what the market is for these pops or these figures or whatever you want to call them. So for me, like the number one piece of advice is that supply equals demand. So depending on like how much of a Funko Pop there is, and of course obviously the variations between them, it could determine the value. The number one thing that's going to help you figure out if something's going to be valuable enough is stickers. Now, if you don't know what a sticker is, well, obviously you know what a sticker is, but a Funko sticker is basically one of these. It just has these extra little stickers that are attached to it. Normally it's to separate them from a common Funko Pop. So there's commons, there's uncommons, there's rares, there's exclusives, there's grails. And there's a lot more other terminology, but those are the basic ones I throw around when I talk to people that actually do collect Funkos or are actually interested in the things I do want to speak about. Now, again, just because they have stickers does not mean 100% of the time it's going to be an expensive thing. No, there are variables, there are many different things, and yes, at some cases, what type of sticker they use could depend on the value. Yes, sometimes a figure is going to be more than $40 over another figure just because of the type of sticker it's used. It's kind of like one of those weird things. Like you can't really take a guesstimate on it. You really can't take a guesstimate. So I have 8 here. Some very old ones, some new ones, all around the last 6 years of collections. I'm using as examples here that kind of like give you the big picture of like what I'm trying to explain here in terms of that. Now we're gonna go with the commons here. So this is a common Funko Pop. This is something that it just does not have a sticker, and you buy it. It was common back then. So like you can go to a store when this, like in this case, the Daredevil figure came out, and you can purchase it for the MSRP price, the manufacturer suggested retail price. Now, the thing you need to note about this is that years down the line, so this was about, I want to say I spent $12 on this originally. It's currently worth, moderately speaking, via the Funko shop as well as many different reseller sites I did check, around the $60 range. That's 4 times what it's worth. But it has no stickers, it has nothing. Why is it like that? Again, you have to research the factors and everything. Right now, it's mainly because Daredevil, like at this current moment, Daredevil's hot right now. You know, Marvel Studios is bringing him back into the MCU, played by the same actor who played in the Netflix series. This is obviously the Netflix version of the character. Well, the Netflix suit, let's call it. So now it's more on demand. It's risen in price because people want to get these Funko Pops so that eventually when the Daredevil show comes out on Disney Plus in 2024, and no doubtably we're going to get brand new Funko Pops for that series, this one will even go up in demand. And that's what some people sometimes use. Like when Marvel Studios or DC or any big, well, let's just use those two in this case. When they announce these are the big movies coming out, and some of them are going to include some of your favorite characters from older films or older shows or other property that are coming back to it. So like you're gonna get a new line of merchandise for them, which include Funko Pops. So eventually, this Daredevil will be even more money down the road. So any reseller is going to buy a ton of these right now and hold them over until 2024. So that's why at the current market, this is worth so much more money. It was around like 30-ish, like a few months ago. But then, of course, obviously, mild spoilers for She-Hulk. Daredevil's in that show now. So, and also with all the announcements from San Diego Comic-Con and now D23, people exactly know it's Charlie Cox. He's coming back. Get ready. But also, this Funko Pop is only going to go up in price. Now, of course, for me, like, if you can... Now, how do you rate... Now, if this is a common Funko Pop, is there any way to raise it right now without waiting for it? Well, simple enough. The next thing you could do... Now, another thing you have to know about is condition. Now, it depends, like, how you take care of your box and take care of everything. Ironically, this is, like, my worst displayed Funko Pop, ironically. One of the highest valued in my collection as of currently today is gonna be, I have to knock off like $20-$30 off because the box is damaged. The box came in damaged during shipping. I think it's called the nunchucks. I know Daredevil has a specific terminology for his weapons, but those weapons, one of them broke off. So definitely, I could maybe resell this for $20. So as much as like a mint condition one or a really great condition one is going to go for $60, my version is going to go for $20. So another thing you have to know about is your condition. The better you take care of your stuff, the better you take care of your Funko Pop, and you do want to resell it down the road, you will most likely be compensated for that because most collectors tend to go for condition. Sometimes I really don't. It just depends. Like I like sometimes like if as long as the front is all right, I'll purchase it. Obviously, when I'm in person and I have the choice to like select the feel, I'll choose the best one. That's common. That's perfectly fine for someone to do. But for me, it's like, okay, I'm gonna definitely take the best looking box. But when it comes to like when I'm buying it off a third party site like eBay, I really don't care. It's like it is what it is. If the price is good enough and it's in a really good condition, I'll purchase it for whatever it is. So. That's something you have to know about there. Another thing you want to focus on is signatures. Now, there are opportunities via conventions, or maybe if you're really hardcore, when an actor goes to a premiere that's in your nearby area, you can maybe try and get these autographed. Now, of course, signed figures go for way more money because not only do you have the pop itself in this case, but if you have the actor, such as this case Charlie Cox, to sign it, it will raise the value because it is the association factor of like you have the main actor signing your figure, it's going to go up in price. Now, of course, there's a lot of different variables to that too of like how you want to determine that. So right here on my right is my Hero Academia Deku Pop that I just got signed at New York Comic Con by the voice actor for him, the English voice actor, Justin Briner. Now, this Funko Pop is not that well priced in terms of like, it's obviously higher than MSRP right now because there's more Deku Pops out there now. So it's MSRP even with the stickers. So even with these two stickers, at the time, I still spent around like $20 for it. So right now, I think it's going to go around $30. I'll put up the right price right now if I am incorrect. But it's signed by the actor. So I can definitely increase the price of it now if I were to resell it because it is a signed Funko. I will never. Now, another thing you need to know: I am not saying I'm reselling any of my Funko Pop. This is not the type of video. Like I am not selling any of these Pop. These are mine forever. You're never going to touch them. They're only just going to improve over time. Deal with it. So back to that. So this is going to be worth more money because it's signed. It's technically a common Pop, I'm going to call it, even though it is an Entertainment Earth exclusive, it was really well produced that when I bought this 2 years ago, there was a really good amount of stock of it. I think right now, I want to say I could probably sell it base-wise $25, but for the signature, it also depends on like about your personal preference too. Like, so for me, I have to pay for my signature. So I have to include the signature cost into what I want to resell it for. Now, of course, obviously, there's another thing about, again, supply and demand. And autographs are its own tricky area too. So I don't believe Charlie Cox has done that many conventions. I could be wrong though, but I'm hopeful he will be in town next year for New York Comic Con because they're filming, I believe, the Daredevil show around that time period. So hopefully he'll be around so I can get this signed. So I'll figure that out next year. But as of this one, I believe Justin Briner is more common at conventions because voice actors for animes. No offense to them, they tend to swing around a lot of conventions, right now. But however, there are actors out there who very rarely go to certain things. Now, if an actor commonly signs a lot of things, obviously, of course, you're gonna pay the actor for it. But if the market isn't there, like okay, there's let's say for example, who's the most common actor right now that I'm gonna use in terms of that's in every convention, like. No offense, I'm just saying this off the top of my head. Let's say a Power Ranger goes and signs one of their Funko Pops. Okay, yeah, you're paying the actor how much they're valuing their signature for. That is non-negotiable. Like most times, they don't go and give out free autographs. I could be wrong again. Like again, it just depends on like the actor and the mood, and you again, it's all those different variables that doesn't really apply here. But most of the time, you are paying for their autograph. However, there are opportunities that they go through because, no offense to that, they are very common around. So if you're going to a convention and you're most likely going to see a Power Ranger on the show floor. So they are a little bit more common. So when it comes to reselling, you're gonna have to kind of take a bite out of it because, like, okay, well, I could spend X amount of dollars for Jason David Frank's original MMPR Funko Pop. Or I can go to the convention itself, pay him directly, and probably save a little bit of money. And of course, obviously, you got to include shipping and stuff. You got to figure out those factors of supply and demand. Obviously, right now, Power Rangers is like already decent in popularity right now. So you're not really the market's not there for it right now. You could still sell it. I'm not gonna say like, oh, you got to wait until like the timing's correct. You never really know. It just depends on what's going on right now, and also if there's a collector that is like at the moment looking for. Hey, I want this figure. I want this figure today. I don't care how much it is. I want it. You might get lucky, but also there are people like they're willing to wait. And the waiting game is strong with the resellers and people who are going to buy from reseller. The waiting game is strong for both sides. So eventually at some point it's got to give and get. So back to the autographs point, again, it just depends on the actor, how common they're appearing at signings or opportunities to do it, as well as their popularity. So I can say safely right now, Justin Briner's autograph cost me $60. So that's $60 plus the Funko. So right now, in terms of just how much I invested in it, and that's another thing you have to know about, investment costs and how much you're going to resell it cost can vary. So right now, I could probably say I spent about $80 on this Funko Pop. Now, of course, obviously, another thing you gotta include, again, is condition. How is the condition? It is still in a good condition. I can advertise it as it's in good condition. It is not great. It is not near mint. It's none of that. It's good. So that's going to affect the price a little bit. So roughly, I would say with the current market, which is everything going on, and My Hero Academia is about to be huge again with season 6, I can probably make my money back and get this for 80. I could probably do so. I could be wrong though. If I start an eBay bid for 70, I could get more money. It just depends. It just depends on also the avenue of where you want to sell it to, whether it's a local swap meet or eBay, or I believe the new app called What's Not or something like that. It's one of those new apps. I'll put it up here. I actually passed by it at New York Comic Con last week, so I might be wrong there. But now we're going into more of like into the sticker thing. So I mentioned before, like just because a Funko Pop had like glow in the dark and Entertainment Earth exclusive, I mean, oh my god, that's gonna be a valuable Funko Pop. It isn't. I mean, sometimes retailers such as Hot Topic, Target, Best Buy, GameStop, Funko Shop, Child's Collectible, they have their own stickers. They'll put their sticker on an item saying that this is an item that you can specifically get at our store. That doesn't mean 100% of the time it's going to be worth money. It does not. There are still some exclusives out there from years ago that are still on their shelf that is still slowly selling. Just because something's exclusive to a store does not mean it's always going to be worth money. So going into like my next point here is we're going to take this Bakugo one. Now this Bakugo one, there were two versions of it. They were both San Diego Comic-Con time exclusives. Now there is the 2017 version, and I believe the 2018 or 2019 version. I mix the two. They're almost identical. It just depends on the hand movements and the backdrop. So right here, I believe the other one has his explosion on the other hand. I'll show you a screen for comparison right now. However, the sticker can make or break this. So this one right here, as I'm going to move my Black Lightning one for a little bit just to showcase it. I apologize to Black Lightning. So with this one, for example, this is a Hot Topic exclusive, but you don't see the Hot Topic sticker on it. Like that Iguana that I have over there, that is a Hot Topic exclusive. So if I'm claiming this Bakugo is a Hot Topic exclusive, why is this not having the sticker? Well, let me explain that to you. So overseas, there are retailers that are here in America where I live, but across the world, they do not have it. So for example, Toys R Us you can go to a Toys R Us store in Canada because in Canada, there is still fully fledged Toys R Us store. However, in America, there is not a fully fledged Toys R Us store. The Macy's, I think it's Macy's now that partnered with it. Macy's or JCPenney's, I forgot which one. They're partnered with Toys R Us, but it's not a full-fledged store. They most likely do not have Funko Pops on their little section in those stores. They don't, so they can't do that. So when it comes to this here, when it comes to overseas, so like, okay, GameStop and has a counterpart in Canada called EB Games, but overseas they don't. So where do the GameStop exclusive Funko Pops go overseas? They don't go anywhere. So when you see these types of figures overseas, you're going to see this special edition. That means that it is a special edition Funko Pop internationally. Like, oh, back in stateside where Funko Pops are, home place wise, they're in an exclusive place. But for here in, like, let's say, I'm gonna pull a random country out of my head, Europe or Asia, this doesn't. So you just put the special edition sticker. Now again, stickers can make or break the value. I got this Bakugo for $25 to $30 last year's New York Comic Con at a vendor. I did not know at the time because I looked at the figure. I'm like, I want this figure. However, the Hot Topic version goes for $60 to $80. Now, another thing you need to know about that is that, okay, yeah, so there's a Hot Topic version, there's a special edition version. So in this Funko Pop's case, the special edition version is going to be worth less because of the sticker. It is the exact same mold, the exact same figure, the exact same box. Everything's the same except for that sticker. So that sticker, for the Hot Topic side of thing, is worth $50 more. So technically, you are paying $50 more in this current instant for the sticker. Now, you're probably going to ask yourself, okay, so that sticker alone is $50. Okay, so how do I get to that sticker? Well, of course, obviously, you can go online and purchase it on eBay, or in some instances where, and this is a rare thing, and this is another factor you need to know about when it comes to resale, is that there will sometimes be a thing called a restock. Okay, I say that like it's like a dramatic thing. It's not. Restock means an item that was previously sold out comes back in stock. So earlier this year and last year, Hot Topic did a lot of restocks for a lot of their exclusive. They made a brand new line, not a big amount of restock, but there was a second chance for people who failed to get it, and they were able to get another chance to probably get a new one. Now restocks are more common for us, like a casual person or like a regular customer to purchase this time around, because resellers know restock means bad things for a reseller, because the whole point of this is that if they produce 10,000 Hot Topic exclusive Bakugos, then they control the market, because once one thing goes off of sale, like, okay, people like me, let's say I have the original Hot Topic one, I am never going to give it away. It's always going to be mine. That's one less. So there's only 9,999 Funko Pop of this version that could still be on the market for resale. That's less chances to get it, which means that you can negotiate and you can raise the price higher. But when a restock comes out, that $10,000 quantity has went up to, let's say, 13,000. So there's more opportunity for them to get it. And a reseller may sometimes buy it up, hoping that it'll be the next big thing. But most times, like, okay, those three, like, let's say 2,000 people who missed it out the first time, okay, let me grab it, and I got it. And then you still have 1,000 left. In Bakugo's case, he sold out again. So I'm saying that a resale can always give a character to be backstock, to come back into stores, to come back into the online marketplace, and it's always going to be there. So for me, again, it goes to the factor of, well, why would I go to a reseller that's selling this for $60 when I have a chance to get it on Hot Topic again for $15? Obviously, I'm going to give Hot Topic my $15, save the money on spending the 4 times the amount that I would have paid with the reseller, and I get my Funko Pop. See, the reseller just lost a potential customer with me. And yeah, and there are more people like me who think, like, I'm going to try and get the restock. And again, like, you can get into, like, oh, it's the original printing. And it's like, it's going to be worth money. Yes, there is the case of that too. There have been cases on that, like, where, yeah, the printing cycles can also depend on that. There's ways to, like, figure that out. For example, in the original, if you had the Funko with an original Funko logo before the kind of the more modern streamlined one, that could be worth some money. Yes, I'm getting to that. But Bakugo, mainly like the printing lines, it doesn't matter for that one. It just, whatever is just based on the sticker, and then the restock helped it go down a little bit more. So that's one thing you need to know about that. Now, going onwards is that there are many different versions of characters. So all these Funko Pops that you see here all have different versions. What do I mean by that? So, I mean there are 2 variants. There is the one they use the same mold for, and they go back and do some changes to it. Or it's a completely different mold, but it's still the same character. So those are the 2 variants. So for example, Deku has many different variants. Kronk has many different variants. Black Lightning has many different variants. So we're going to use Black Lightning in this instant, where there are currently 2 Black Lightning Funko Pops out there right now. This is the season 3 to 4 suit that was released in the first wave of Black Lightning Funko Pop that included his daughters and, of course, the villain Tobias Whale. So there were 4 Funko Pop in the first and probably only wave for Black Lightning. However, before that happened, there was an exclusive 3,000-piece version of Black Lightning with the original Season 1, Season 2 suit that was at a San Diego Comic-Con, I believe, in 2019. I think it was the first San Diego Comic-Con or second one after the show premiered on the CW. Now, a thing you need to know about that is that Funko Pop goes for an obscene amount of price because guess what? It's a very limited quantity. When someone announces there's only going to be 3,000 of these Funko Pop, there will never, ever, ever be a restock. If you're one of the lucky to get the 3,000, that's great. If you're not, well, too bad. There's not going to be any more for you to get. So I was trying to get the original one, but it's going for an obscene amount of prices because that's a locked Funko Pop. That is a Funko Pop that will, no matter what, never going to restock. It will always have that exclusive sticker that always says 3,000 with that original mold. You can get this one always for about $15 to $20 right now. The MSRP product, that's never going to go up because that's commonly produced. People want that sticker. People want the advertisement. Oh, I'm one of the lucky 3,000 people. Like, again, that type of marketing equals the demand, and then the limited supply. Resellers who have that Funko Pop who want to sell it will raise the price. So you got to know about that. So like eventually for me personally, I said screw it. I like the season 3-4 suit better than the original one, my opinion. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get this suit. He has the lightning particles. The original didn't. I don't care. I'm going for this one. So I did. And I'm perfectly subsided with it. I'm perfectly fine. But that can also derail some people like, you know, I can't afford that $200 price point for the original. I'll go for this one, which is $15, $20. It's still cool as well. Again, I could go back in the day and eventually find one if I can, but at the end of the day, like for me, like I got the one I needed and I'm perfectly satisfied with it. I'm very satisfied with that. And those are there are those types of collectors that are just satisfied and they move on from it. But another thing about variants is that the other side of thing is the mold. So a thing you should know is that, so when it comes to any figures or anything, when it comes to production, they come up with these molds. So these are unpainted. They're just the shape, the block, the formation that it's going to look before paint. So with those in mind, so let's take Iguado, for example. My boy Iguado. So he has 2 molds. Well, no, he has 2 versions of his mold. So the original mold, which does not have a stickers, any of those stickers. So right now that sticker has the Flocked and the Hot Topic exclusive one, as well as it's also when you touch the actual figure, you feel the like it's hairy a little bit. It's not exactly hair, but it's felted in a way where like you can feel like it's Iguado, because in the show Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, he is a fluffy imaginary monster. Now, another thing you need to know about that is that the original version of Iguado is probably still baseline, you know, retail price right now, $15, $20, same with Mac and Blue. This one is worth way more because it is flux. It was limited edition to Hot Topic, and as well as it went out of stock for a while, but then it came back in restock. But it's still pretty sought after. That one took me a while. So this was one of the cases where I held out. I was like, no, Iguado's a fluffy little, fluffy big monster. I want the fluffy version. And he came back on a resale, and I was like, yes, I'm getting him. And guess what? I did get him. And I was super freaking happy. I was very, very happy. And I purchased him. I don't care about the reseller market in that one because I know the prices probably went down a little bit because people knew there was a new chance to get him. I got him, and I was happy. I was really, really happy. But however, again, this is the same mold. Like, even though they're the exact same molds, sometimes Funko will give it a paint job. That's a criticism I have with Funko is sometimes they will take the same mold instead of making new molds and just putting on a new fresh coat of paint, a new sticker, and boom, it's probably valuable. The Civil War Iron Man one, which I do have up there, has been reused plenty of times for different coatings and everything. That has become annoying. One instance I have is that the original Civil War one and the Marvel Studios 10th anniversary one are the exact same Civil War Iron Man suit mold, except one is painted with his colors and one is painted gold. So that sometimes will change the price a little bit. Yes, the gold sometimes will be worth more than another version, or the original color one will be worth more than the gold version. It just depends. I know back in the Amiibo days, if you want to have a little crossover there, I remember that there was a Super Mario Amiibo line figure for Mario. So there was the original, there was the gold, and then there was the silver. And of course, obviously, at the time, the gold one was worth more, even though it was the exact same mold as the mainline one, but people only cared because it was gold. And sometimes they will have a Toys R Us sticker. I don't think they do that anymore, so it's because it's open everywhere. But in that case, it was worth a lot of money. And this is how it is. Now, lastly, before I get into it, it's like, again, this is the assumption factor here, where just because something is worth more because it has more stickers, that doesn't always mean the case. Take that Iron Man one, for example, from Endgame. That's one of the coolest shots from the movie, where Tony Stark sacrifices his life, giving his own version of the snap and saving humanity by defeating Thanos and his army. You assume that would be worth a lot of money. It's about right. It's gonna be worth more. It's one of those deluxe pops where like it is the pop and they put a lot more extra features in there to make it more valuable. But just because it's a PX exclusive as well as a glow in the dark, it does not mean, again, similar to if I had this Deku without his autograph, it does not mean it's going to be worth more money. It just means, okay, it's exclusive to somewhere, and you can still probably pick them up online retail wise or even resale wise for like $20 to $25. And yes, that just because this is worth money doesn't mean it's worth a lot of money. That's another thing you have to note about it. And lastly, in terms of like just the basic like how-tos and how-don'ts of like trying to figure out what it is stickers, again, for exclusive for conventions. Because conventions are, sad to say, a very, very dark spot for collectors if you're not attending or if you're not just going to be participating. Now, Funko would oftentimes come out with convention exclusives, so there would be two different versions of them. Yes, it's always two or something of versions of it. So at times they would announce, okay, we're going to be doing an exclusive convention pop for this convention. So for example, we just recently had New York Comic Con. So there was a bunch of New York Comic Con one. Now, however, there was a thing where there are two different types of stickers. There is the mainline New York Comic Con sticker, which are only exclusive at the convention hall. So if you went to New York Comic Con this year and you went to go get like one of the exclusives that Funko had at their vendor booth, you could have gotten the New York Comic Con sticker of it, emphasizing that you were physically there at New York Comic Con to pick up this sticker. But what they're doing recently is that this is my Goku that I just got in from the mail because I was unable to purchase it at the show floor. This has the 2022 Fall Convention sticker limited edition. Now, yes, it does have the Statue of Liberty on it, which indicates that yes, this was sold at New York Comic Con, but it does not specifically say New York Comic Con because this was sold at retailers that were partnered with Funko to exclusively sell the New York Comic Con figure. So this one is the Hot Topic version of it. It doesn't have the Hot Topic sticker on it, but it does have this sticker. The ones that have the New York Comic Con stickers are going to be worth more money. I haven't looked on the eBay sites yet on how much the difference is, but if you were at New York Comic Con and you bought this Funko Pop with that sticker, then it's obviously going to be worth more money because it's a specific one that's specifically at this event that only a select amount of people went to. And of course, obviously, if you can't afford to go to New York Comic Con for, it's not just going to a convention. If you're traveling, but you have to pay for a plane, you have to pay for a hotel, you have to pay for food, transportation. Like, it all adds up. So to go to get a Funko Pop for this, it's basically a lose-lose. Like, there's no way you can get that. And plus, another thing, which was like really unfortunate timing, is that the actor for Goku was there. So people would have went with their New York Comic Con exclusive stickers to get his autograph. And since that was like, it's fresh, it's a new Funko Pop with that specific sticker with the actor's autograph, oh my god, I can't even imagine what the resale value is going to go for that for anyone who decided to do it. I think everyone that went for him probably just did it for like, they know like, we're doing it for ourselves. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime moment. But most likely there will be a couple resales that are going to put that up for auction. I'll check later on eBay, but most likely it's going to be ridiculous. But then you have the cases where this is kind of like just a rare exception where like, this is a D23 Kronk figure from D23 this year. Now, this was not advertised as a summer convention. I apologize, Kronk. I'm sorry, my baby. This is not a summer convention sticker because like, well, it's going to just be specifically at this one event. So we're going to say, screw it. This is just going to have the D23 logo, which I'm 99% certain this is the same logo you would have gotten in the convention hall. So it doesn't really make much of a difference. I just got it at a vendor because I didn't get to go to D23 at all because I wasn't invited. But anyway, so that makes the difference of it. So again, just all what I said before. At the end of the day, you really can't predict anything. You really can't. You never know what's going to be the next big thing. You never know what's going to be the next big hot topic, or not hot topic, the next big Funko Pop that's going to make a lot of money. You never really know. All you can do is that if you like something and you really, really want it, just make it work and launch. Make it work. Because the resellers and, trying to buy later on can be difficult, can cost you more money had you just made it work for a while. I tell all my collector friends, if you want something and you don't want to spend more money on it, get it at launch. Get it the first time. Try your damn best. Get every avenue. And then you will be rewarded because you will save money in the long run. Yes, you will be spending a lot of money at the moment because, like, for me, I spent like $100 on all the Funko, but I wanted to get a New York Comic Con this year. Yes, that is a decent amount of money. But keep in mind, the Goku's going to be up in price. The Ben 10 Alien Force figure that I got, Swamp Fire, is going to be up in price. And just a bunch of other ones I got as well. Like, those are going to be worth down the road, or some sort of more money because those are all con exclusive. They will be worth more money. So I'm saving myself the time and the egg by getting them now. So it may seem like a big money now, but if you really take a look at the comparison, you do save a lot of money. So hopefully this helps a little bit. If you have any other of your own basic tips that you can share with people, let them know. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to take a look at them and also have a conversation about it. I'm always open to that. If you're unaware, this has been The Collection Compass here on YouTube. This is Joe here. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, favorite, share this video if you want to. Ring the bell for notifications. Please also follow us on social media to stay up to date with any sort of updates we may have for our channels. But until we see each other again, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe out there. Be good to each other. And as always, peace out.